Professor Dr. G.K. Pal sir, Executive Director and CEO AIIMS Patna, say keynote address for us.
Very good evening, all of you. Namaskar. I am indeed delighted to be here in this 10th annual conference of Bihar chapter of Physical Association of PMR and under the aegis of the Indian Association of PMR. Before I speak on my keynote topic, I would like to share a few experiences of mine with PMR and for PMR. At JIPMER, when I gave the proposal for a center of excellence in yoga. Actually, I was running the Advanced Center for Yoga. But then the opportunity was given to make a center of excellence. So when I submitted the center of excellence, our president, the then president of JIPMER, Dr. M.K. Bhan, he told me, Dr. Pal, you have done so much in yoga, but time has come, you make the center of excellence in yoga and rehabilitation. And he told me, yoga representing the Department of Physiology and rehabilitation represented by Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, PMR. And he said both should work together and establish the Department of the Center of Excellence in Yoga and PMR. And that is how I just realized the visionary president. He is no more, he just passed away 2 years before. And then somehow I could not execute that. But then I got the posting at AIIMS Patna. And my dream of making the Center of Excellence in Yoga and Rehabilitation is now will be implemented at AIIMS Patna. Keeping that in mind, I have started doing a lot of things. Of course, even I have not revealed to my colleague Dr. Sanjay what is in my mind. But keeping that in my mind, I have made him the Deputy Medical Superintendent of the AIIMS building, and I wish that PMR department takes the responsibility of building the AIIMS medicine, and he is the core member of the committee of the integrative medicine. There is now the government has already given an official order. The Center of Integrative Medicine has to be developed. In that, the yoga will come up and rehabilitation will come up. But then we'll make actually the Center of Excellence of Yoga and Rehabilitation in the building of AIIMS. So all the dignitaries on the dais and my dear friend Professor Binde and Dr. Ramji Singh and all the dignitaries, the director of AIIMS Diaghar, the medical superintendent of AIIMS, and my dean and others, and all the luminaries, the invited guests sitting here in this hall. I'm really so delighted to see all of you now coming here and for this function. But actually, I was telling Dr. Pandey, such functions should be organized not in hotel, it should be in the institute. In fact, I was telling him, you should have done it at AIIMS Patna, and we have such a beautiful auditorium and we have a lot of facilities to organize, and we should do it in the institute. That gives a different, the total hue to the function. And I wish that in future, such functions of the functions which is so important. Actually, this is a multidisciplinary function. The PMR, that is what is a multidisciplinary, and PMR must be actually integrated with all the departments, and that has to happen. And for that to happen, actually, you have to have all the disciplines coming together. That is what Dr. Saurabh Barsne was telling, that this gives the services to all the departments, and they must be integrated. And it has to really come up. And when I met Professor Vasne just few days before in Delhi, he said, I'm coming there. Actually, I had forgotten that this function is there. And then I realized that this such a big function is coming up. And so nice, and as the chief patron of this entire program, I welcome you all to this function, and I congratulate the Department of PMR of AIIMS Patna, of AIIMS Patna, of AIIMS Kalyani and AIIMS Bihar for making this program a big one and a grand success. So with these few words, now I make my presentation. This presentation, I am so happy that he gave me a topic of this rehabilitation. Rehabilitation actually is a different concept. It is, when we speak of rehabilitation, it is not just the physical rehabilitation, it is much beyond. And that is why I was advised by our then President of JIPMER to make it the Center of Excellence of Yoga and Rehabilitation. So I'll share some of my experiences in this field of work. So my scheme of presentation will be, I'll speak about 15 to 20 minutes, not more, because I know that a nice dinner is waiting for all of us. I'll speak on rehabilitation, what is the meaning and definition, the psychophysical rehabilitation, the concept. Then I'll speak of the mechanism of the psychophysical rehabilitation, asanas, pranayama and Surya Namaskar for psychophysical rehabilitation. Then the neurophysiological mechanisms. Relaxation is the key to the rehabilitation program. And then the vagus nerve, which is the key of the expression of health of an individual, is core of the integrator of the rehabilitative processes, and the slow and deep breathing, how they improve the vagal strength and promote this. And then I'll end my topic with the message of the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram on this rehabilitation program. The rehabilitation, by definition, by meaning that, as you know all actually, this re means again, and heavy tear, the make fit. So to make ourselves again fit, that means we had some problem, we lost the fitness, and so we have to rejuvenate, we have to make ourselves fit again. So yoga for rehabilitation means restoring the person to good health through yoga. Yoga is fundamentally considered as a preventive or the curative approach for an ailment or the malfunctioning system. But the healing of yoga transcends beyond this actually, beyond the prevention and curation. Yoga, therefore, the psychophysical health actually, the mind-body health, which is part of the yoga and part of the rehabilitation also. The psychophysical health, which is the mind-body health, is nothing but actually that they must work together, and they must actually harmoniously develop together. Though the mind and the body, they are two separate entities, but they are actually very close because they often interact with each other. Therefore, the physical health and emotional health are intimately intertwined, what is known as the psychophysical health. Our chemistry and biology impact our mood and emotions, and they play a major role in influencing our stress and our physical health. Thus, the physical rehabilitation aims at the psychological rehabilitation. It is most important, for mental rehabilitation or the psychological rehabilitation. Without that, the physical rehabilitation will be incomplete. Relaxation of body and mind to reduce stress is the key to the psychophysical rehabilitation. The mechanisms of yoga improving the psychophysical health as part of the rehabilitation are: number one, yoga decreases the impact of stress on the body and mind and promotes the cell growth, even including the stem cell growth. And yoga improves the hormonal balance, releases endorphins, promotes nitric oxide secretion, improves metabolism, inhibits inflammation and oxidative stress, and yoga modulates brain levels of GABA. That improves actually the mood and decreases the anxiety and improves the vagal tone the autonomic balance and inhibits the cancer cell growth. Yoga improves the visceral functions and therefore the body metabolisms. Rehabilitation facilitates healing. Our body has the intrinsic way of healing itself after an injury. Body actually heals itself. What actually yoga does, it actually promotes that natural process of healing. This body heals itself by producing antibodies, repairing the cells, it regenerates the lost blood, produces the pain-relieving endorphins, and many more mechanisms. Yoga supports these natural healing defenses of our body. And it has different approach than the conventional medicine because it looks at the body as a whole. That is what Professor Ramji Singh was telling. The physiology looks at that actually. The body as a whole. You just cannot look at an organ or a system. It's the entire body which has to be really promoted, and that is what is done by the yoga. Yoga works at all the stages of rehabilitation, the physical rehabilitation and the psychological rehabilitation. And in this rehabilitation mechanism, there are the standard steps of the stages. The first is the rest and protect. That's the first stage of rehabilitation. You should give rest to the body which is injured. And then slowly there will be recovery, and the recovery first will be of the movement, the recovery of the motion. Then the recovery of the strength, that is the muscle and the nerve. Then the recovery of the functionality. Yoga works at all the levels of the stages of these rehabilitation mechanisms. This is one article which goes into the details of it actually, the effect of yoga on mental and physical health, a review. Yoga, the stress actually, the research was telling, the major cause of all the problems is the stress which increases these inflammatory markers, increases sympathetic activity, it actually increases pro-inflammatory markers, and yoga decreases the stress impact on the body by decreasing all these, the sympathetic activity and decreasing the inflammatory markers. Yoga rehabilitation works on the lower and higher levels of the brain to reduce the stress response and the stress influence on the psychophysical health. I am not going to the details of this because it will take more time, but just I'll tell you, on the right side is the lower brain mechanisms, that is in the lower centers of the brain, that is in the medulla, in the pons and medulla, where actually you have the cardiovascular centers and the centers for autonomic output, the vagal centers. Yoga works there and improves the vagal autonomic output. On the left side, there is the higher centers, that is mainly the cognitive and the higher functions. Yoga works there and it actually improves the cognitive, emotional and behavioral output, and by these mechanisms, yoga improves the entire brain functions, and therefore it improves all kinds of output from the brain, especially the hypothalamo, pituitary, adrenal, autonomic output, which is the main axis of the working of yoga. Impact of yoga on meditation and cellular aging. This is another one very good article actually which goes into the details how yoga acts at the cellular level actually. The yoga therapy stimulates the cell trafficking from the bone marrow. This yoga, this is a proposed mechanism, but many of the mechanisms have been recently also approved, established. Yoga improves from the bone marrow the stem cells, and the stem cells are then transferred to different organs, and they facilitate the growth anatomically and functions physiologically of all the organs of the body. Enhancement of the cancer cell susceptibility to conventional treatment is facilitated by yoga. We have actually few publications in this, that in cancer patients, if you do yoga, then the recovery is much faster. In cancer actually there is increased NF-kappa-B, and yoga decreases the NF-kappa-B, the lower one, the lower line of pictures. It actually decreases the tumor cell production, decreases the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines from these tumor cells, increases NK cell activity. Natural killer cell is the main cell actually which acts against these tumor cells. Increases NK cell activity, increases the release of the cytokines that kill the cancer cells, and it causes tumor cell lysis. Yoga versus walking, also the work has been done, how actually yoga is even better than the physical exercises like walking, where the main changes happen by increasing the brain level of GABA. These are the details of that. Then this is the how yoga actually releases the endorphin, and yoga produces analgesia. Yoga releases the serum nitric oxide. So practice of yoga, especially asanas, pranayamas and Surya Namaskar, facilitates the rehabilitation by promoting psychophysical health. And among them, especially for rehabilitation, especially for physical rehabilitation, it is mainly the asanas that actually work more. The asanas, this is just some of the asanas to show actually how the body flexibility has to be there and how the asanas are practiced so freely to improve the balance, suppleness of the body. So these are the pictures from my textbook of physiology. And this is how actually you bend your body, and your spinal cord, the vertebral column, joint flexibility, many things you need actually to practice the asanas. So these are few pictures of these asanas. So asanas are different body postures, and these body postures, how actually we maintain our body posture? Body posture is maintained by the effect of gravity that pulls the muscle, and that activates the myotatic reflex, and this actually causes extension of the joint which is involved in maintaining the posture. So the joint is extended, the muscles contract, and then the extension of the joint is maintained, and that is how the posture is maintained, and that is the basic physiology. So here in this system, what actually happens here, the flexibility of the joint is important, and the muscle action, the muscle force is also important. So both must be intact. The integrity of the joint ligaments, tendons, joint capsules, adequacy of the joint fluid, joint space, all should be preserved to maintain the extension at the joint. So that is what I was telling. Also the force generated in the muscle also should be adequate to maintain the body posture. Asanas, they improve all this. What actually asanas do? They provide strength to the muscle, they bring the flexibility to the joint, and maintain the body postures. So the practice of yogasana delays the degeneration and preserves the physical youthfulness and flexibility until death. Mechanism of rehabilitation by asanas. It improves the flexibility of the joint, maintains the power and suppleness of the muscles, and provides strength to the bone. Different yogasana postures modulate blood flow to the visceral organs and improves their functions. Control of secretions of endocrine glands is improved by yogasana, and therefore it improves the metabolism. Many asanas, by controlling thoraco-abdominal movements and blood flow to the visceral organs, influence exocrine secretions, liver functions, GI motility, and GI secretions. Thus, yogasana improves appetite, balances digestion and metabolism. Asanas that affect movement of the trunk and rotation of the body along the main axis of the body, they improve the flexibility of the vertebral joint and reduce stiffness. Nowadays, many of us actually have this, the cervical spondylitis, lumbar spondylitis, and osteoarthritis. So this actually yoga, if you do little bit regularly, especially the asanas, the stiffness of the joint reduces, and you keep maintaining the mobility of your joints. Asanas that cause forward and backward bending of the body, they reduce fat deposition. And asanas that influence thoraco-abdominal movement, they control ventilation and respiratory functions. These asanas balance sensitivity of airways and are useful in the treatment of asthma. Asanas such as Sarvangasana, Sirsasana, they increase blood flow to the brain, they improve memory, learning, general intelligence and cognition. All these asanas improve functions of the nervous system. Yogasana has profound influence on the hemodynamics, the circulation and cardiovascular function. Therefore, the regular practice of asana maintains heart functions and blood pressure. Asanas like Paschimottanasana, abdominal breathing and Sarvangasana, they ensure relaxation of the body and mind and promote sleep. So they decrease the stress and anxiety, improve autonomic balance and reduce heart rate and blood pressure. So this is a very good article. I just am showing that this, if you get time, sometimes you can read actually. This is the effect of yoga on mental and physical health. A beautiful article actually. It goes into the details of it. Pranayama, the next one, facilitates autonomic balance, psychophysical rehabilitation, self-regulation, resilience and cognitive function. Pranayama ensures psychophysical healing. This is also a good article exploring the therapeutic benefits of pranayama, the yogic breathing, a review article. Pranayama promotes the vagal activity, the breath of life, the respiratory vagal stimulation model of contemplative activity. Yoga therapy and polyvagal theory. Actually, when we do the pranayama, the vagal tone increases, and therefore, by improving the vagal tone, we actually achieve a lot of regulation and the balance of the body, especially on the autonomic visceral functions. Pranayama strengthens energy in the body, because prana is actually the energy which enters into the body. Ayama means actually expansion of the energy in the body. That is what is pranayama. And pranayama works on the pranic body, which is just immediately next to the physical body, the pranic body. I am not going into the details of this because I am not speaking on yoga actually today. Pranayama works on the center of the body. That is what the Hatha Yoga Pradipika says. Pranayama influences the prana which is present at the center of the body. When you do pranayama, the center of the body is actually the energy, the source of energy, that is the heart center, that actually the energy flows and then energy illuminates the entire body. Pranayama is a process of slow and deep breathing, and pranayama is actually that you take a little deeper breathing, and then you, by doing that, you take more oxygen, you improve your metabolism and you improve your organ functions. These are just some pictures of the basic pranayamas, the Anulam Vilam pranayama, the Chandranadi, that is the left nostril breathing. This is mainly for strengthening the vagal activity. And then the Bhramari pranayama, the Sitali pranayama, and the many other pranayamas are there. The scientific basis is that pranayama improves the heart rate variability. By doing pranayama, we improve our vagal tone, and vagal tone is the main one which improves the heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is little different from heart rate, and if you have a bigger heart rate variability, you have less cardiovascular risk, and this is the one which is already established. It improves the cardiorespiratory function, autonomic functions, and all the visceral functions. Bhramari pranayama is established to increase the nitric oxide release. How pranayama works? Pranayama actually works on the limbic system, and it actually stimulates from limbic system the area 24-25, anterior cingulate gyrus. There is sympathovagal output. There is limbic, hypothalamic, sympathetic, endocrine axis coming out from the limbic system. So pranayama actually acting on this limbic cingulate gyrus, area 24-25. It controls autonomic output. It controls food digestion and metabolism. Yoga improves the heart rate variability. This is one of the picture. I am not going to the details of it. This is little physiological, that how yoga improves the HRV, especially the pranayama. Pranayama improves the vagal strength of autonomic regulation. Vagus nerve is the key component of anti-inflammatory reflex. If you say to maintain good health, what one has to do, I will say that it is the improvement of the vagal function. And vagus nerve is the key nerve which maintains your health and prevents inflammation. Inflammation is caused by stress, and by improving vagal function, you reduce stress and you improve your the body functions. Vagal nerve stimulation has been used as a therapy in many neurological diseases, in epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease, and so on. Pranayama has been proposed as a non-invasive method of vagal nerve stimulation because pranayama is directly linked to vagal activity. So the vagus nerve, the key integrator of anti-inflammatory reflex. The vagus nerve, again, this is another complex picture. I will not go into this. Vagus nerve actually improves your autonomic, the vagus sympathetic reflex. It actually, the last one at the bottom of it, the gut macrophage, it actually improves the brain gut axis, and pranayama yoga works on this brain gut axis. Pranayama could be the best non-pharmacological and non-surgical method of vagal nerve stimulation. This is one of my articles actually. We have done a lot of work. I'm just showing some of the work that we have done. The effect of yoga. This is the effect of yoga. This is the RCT, randomized control trial in diabetes and pre-diabetes. This is on the heart rate variability and blood pressure. And this is on rheumatoid arthritis. Because rheumatoid arthritis, they need a lot of rehabilitation. And here actually we had also done that part in this yoga therapy, the rehabilitation program in rheumatoid arthritis. So yoga, just to summarize this, yoga, it improves hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis, decreases stress, balances the inflammatory response, energizes the immune system, and yoga from both the sides, the vagus nerve stimulation and the parasympathetic nervous system as a whole, they finally work on the body energy, body metabolism, the endocrine responses, and improve the visceral functions and provides a perfect health. I end my topic with the keynote topic with a message from the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, and she says the most important part of the rehabilitation is you must have a strong nerve. She emphasizes on the nerve, and she says actually that nerve is the key to all kind of health and the rehabilitation. She says you must have a strong body and strong nerves. You must have strong basis of equanimity in your external being. If you have this, you can contain a world of emotion and yet not have to scream it out. Keep a cheerful mind and a peaceful heart. Let nothing disturb your equanimity and make every day the necessary progress to advance steadily towards the goal. And that is what is the rehabilitation, that is what is the PMR, and that is what is the core of PMR, that is the rehabilitation, and this is integrated with yoga. Thank you all for a question.
Ramji sir and Dr. Vashri sir, please come to testimony. Dr. Professor Minal sir, please.
सर आप सामने
Just a minute. That actually I was in my another talk to the audience at AIIMS Patna. I was mentioning peacock. Peacock is the spiritual bird, and victory bird, and peacocks are there. 4 peacocks are.
One fish with the fish. This is very auspicious. The fish and peacock both together. This is a Madhubani and mixture of Tikuli printing. Tikuli printing and Madhubani printing. Both are. It's on a canvas basically.
Thank you so much.
सर प्लीज एक
The name is printed on the canvas.
Printed on the canvas. Yes. Thank you.
This is the corner art. Sir, this is the father. Sir, he is asking for one photograph for all the. देखो ना इसके यहाँ खड़ा होते हैं अभी तुम यहाँ खड़े हो गए अभी तुम यहाँ पर
सर प्लीज
sir, you don't put that, sir. Please don't, sir.
Master being examination, please come on the stage for
Anu, sir.
felicitation from the Doctor Professor.
Dr. Anup is our Dean examination.
Yes, sir.
His name is also printed there.
Excellently conducted, sir.
Ah,
Excellent. Without any false. Sir,
Dean Research,
also written.
Dr. Prem Kumar sir.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, our Dean Research.
आपकी स्पेशल
Sir, please. Sir, please. Thank you.
वो दो इधर, सर.
Sir, please. Sir, please.
On the dais and off the dais and the delegates. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. I feel privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. My sincere thanks to all the honorable guests and delegates who blessed us with their presence. I would also like to thank all the committee members and the speakers for their constant support to make this event a success one. First and foremost, I convey deep regards and heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Director Professor Gopal Krishna Pal sir, who graced us with his presence and guidance. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us your wisdom of words. We have been fortunate to have your constant support with all the necessary administrative aids for organizing our event. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am thankful from my bottom of heart to Professor Dr. Binde Kumar sir, Director AIIMS, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. My special thanks to Professor Dr. Ramji Singh sir, Executive Director, AIIMS Kalyani, Professor Dr. Saurabh Varsne sir, Executive Director, AIIMS Devghar, Professor Dr. Mrinal Joshi sir, Director, RRC, SMS Jaipur, for their gracious presence and support, as always. Today, my words are not enough to express gratitude to Professor Dr. Ajay Gupta sir, IAPMR President, Professor Dr. S.L. Yadav sir, Professor Dr. Jagannath Sahu sir, Dr. Ravi Gaur sir, for being us with today. I extend my deep regards and hearty thanks to Professor Dr. Umesh Kumar Badani sir, Professor Dr. Manish Mandal sir, and Dr. Om sir, who is not present over here now, for their kind words. I would remain grateful to our Head of Department, Professor Dr. Sanjay Pandey sir, for his constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. I feel so proud to be a part and would like to thank all the current and formal faculty colleagues for helping to make this event a successful one. I am very much thankful to the non-teaching staff members of PMR department who always stood by us. We also have been very fortunate to have a team of very motivated and dedicated our student committee and volunteers and our senior residents. I am thankful to our financial partners Intas, IPCA and Sun. It would have been impossible to organize this event without your support. An event with such dimensions cannot happen overnight, so the wheels started rolling months in advance. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness being expressed to take on completion of this task beyond their comfort level. To conclude, firstly, pardon me if I have missed anyone's valuable efforts and kindly accept my sincere gratitude, all embedded in making this grand event and inaugural event a huge success. If time is money, then definitely you all have spent millions for us. Thank you all, and I hope there is a pleasant stay in Patna.
Sir, please come on the dais. Our DDA, Dr. Nirpal Wal sir is here. Please come on the dais. Sir.
Sir, please. Sir, please. Sir, please. Thank you. Sir, please. Yes. Thank you. Sir, please.
थोड़ा सा तुम बीच में आ जाओ. तुम थोड़ा सा बीच में आ जाओ. Sorry for all the trouble. Actually, we actually running short of time, so I have to join an international virtual meeting. That's why.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा कब शुभ नामे जागे कब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक पाद विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
डिलीवरेंस से क्या कुछ इसका उद्देश्य है संक्षेप में?
ये जो आज का थीम है, ये थीम है कि रिहेबिलिटेशन, कैसे ये रिहेबिलिटेशन प्रोग्राम हम इसको लेके चलें। रिहेबिलिटेशन जो मैं आपको बोल रहा था मेरा जो स्पीच में, रिहेबिलिटेशन मीन्स एक्चुअली आपका जो एक मैंने डिजीज़ हुआ, मैंने जो रोग हुआ, उसके बाद बॉडी कैसे रिकवर करता है। ये जो रिकवरी सिस्टम को जो फैसिलिटेशन होता है, इसको बोलते हैं रिहेबिलिटेशन। ये रिहेबिलिटेशन के लिए हर हॉस्पिटल में, हर इंस्टीट्यूट का जो हॉस्पिटल होता है, इसमें एक्चुअली द PMR, द फिजिकल मेडिसिन एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन डिपार्टमेंट का बहुत मैंने योगदान रहता है। इसमें एक्चुअली जो पेशेंट का जो मैंने चलता है, वो रिहेबिलिटेशन का जो सेशन, ये 1-2 दिन में भी नहीं होता है। एक्चुअली वही मैंने हफ्ते भर चलता है, इसे 2-3 हफ्ते में भी चलता है, ये डिपेंडिंग ऑन द डिजीज़। तो वो इसमें क्या होता है, जो नर्व और मसल इस जो स्टिफ हो जाते हैं, इसके एक्चुअली रिलैक्सेशन मिलता है। और रिहेबिलिटेशन में स्लोली मसल जो फंक्शन रिकवर करता है और उसके बाद आदमी धीरे धीरे पूरा मैंने डिजीज़ से रिकवर करके पूरा नॉर्मल हो जाता है। इसको बोलते हैं रिहेबिलिटेशन। ये उनका थीम है। वो PMR वालों ने इसको मैंने लेके आगे कैसे इसको मैंने एस्टैब्लिश करेंगे ज़्यादा मैंने बेहतर प्रोसेस में, ये जो 2 दिन का कॉन्फ्रेंस में डिस्कशन मैंने हो रहा है, वो कल भी होगा।
सर, आज कई लोगों को सम्मानित भी किया गया, किस सेक्टर में किया गया, उसके लिए कुछ बताइए।
ये जो सम्मानित किए हैं, ये तो इनका सब जो प्रेसिडेंट सेक्रेटरी इसमें जो सब मैंने काम किए हैं रिहेबिलिटेशन में, और जो फिजिकल फिटनेस को कैसे बढ़ाएंगे, जिसने सब कंट्रीब्यूट किए हैं, ये सबको ये सम्मानित किए हैं। ये एक्चुअली पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम। उनका जो मैंने जितने सारे रिसर्च किए हैं, जितने सारे पेशेंट मैनेजमेंट में कंट्रीब्यूट किए हैं, उसके लिए इनको सब सम्मानित किया गया है। और मेरे साथ हैं वो डॉक्टर बिंदे कुमार IJMS का डायरेक्टर, ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड एंड राइट साइड में डॉक्टर मनीष मंडल है IJMS का। उनका भी जो PMR डिपार्टमेंट है वो बहुत बेहतर डिपार्टमेंट है, बहुत एस्टैब्लिश डिपार्टमेंट है। और PMR IJMS एक्चुअली और PMR AIIMS पटना दोनों मिलके एक्चुअली अब रिहेबिलिटेशन सेंटर को हम एस्टैब्लिश करेंगे। मैं जो बोल रहा था योगा एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन, ये एक्चुअली दोनों इंस्टीट्यूट का ये होगा कि कंबाइंड काम होगा। और हम एक्चुअली आपको भी याद होगा, आप सब पब्लिश किए थे ये AIIMS पटना और IJMS मिलके हमारा एक MOU साइन हुआ है, मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग। इसमें ये एक एक्चुअली एक मैंने बेहतर प्रोग्राम होगा, तो ये एक्चुअली हम इसको लेके चलेंगे। ये IJMS और AIIMS पटना मिलके रिहेबिलिटेशन PMR डिपार्टमेंट कैसे मैंने क्या करेंगे इसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे।
इस बार खास करके PMR की बात करें तो बिहार को कितना कुछ फायदा मिलेगा आम जनमानस को इस कॉन्फ्रेंस?
बिहार में PMR बहुत डेवलप किया है। दो स्टारवर्ड्स हम लोगों ने देखे हैं। डॉक्टर राजकुमार हैं, IIMS उनकी टीम है, डॉक्टर संजय पांडे की टीम है AIIMS पटना में जो प्रोफेसर जी के पॉल सर के साथ काम कर रहा है। और हम लोगों ने दोनों संस्थानों ने साथ मिलकर सारे प्रॉब्लम्स को PMR इंक्लूडिंग हम लोगों ने एक कदम बढ़ाया है और मिलजुल के लीडरशिप में डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर जी के पॉल की लीडरशिप में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। आज का जो थीम था फ्यूचर, तो अब जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आया है, रोबोटिक्स आया है, वर्चुअल इमेजिंग आया है, उसको भी हम लोग इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं कि इंडिविजुअल लेवल पर इंडिविजुअल नीड के थ्रू हम किस तरह सारे प्रॉब्लम को एड्रेस करें। मनीष मंडल जी इसमें बहुत बड़ा मेहनत कर रहे हैं और बहुत ही जमीनी स्तर पर काम कर रहे हैं। वो आपको थोड़ी देर इस बारे में बताएंगे।
सर, खास करके बिहार के कंटेस्ट पर बात करके इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद क्या लगता है कि बिहार के लोगों को बाहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी?
आप देखिए कि दो जिस्म एक जान, AIIMS और IIMS, ये दो जिस्म एक जान है। और आप हमारे दोनों डायरेक्टर्स को सुनने में उन्होंने प्रण किया कि जितने भी रिहेबिलिटेशन में काम होंगे हम लोग साथ मिलकर करेंगे, ताकि बिहार से क्या बाहर से भी लोग यहाँ आए हमारे यहाँ इलाज करने के। सिर्फ बिहार ही नहीं, बाहर की जनता को भी फ़ायदा हो कि हमारे यहाँ सस्ते दर पर सबको इलाज हो सके इस बीमारी के।
मैं आपको बोलूँगा, एक्चुअली आप जो बोल रहे हैं ना, जो बिहार के जो पेशेंट्स बाहर जाएंगे क्या, मैं तो आपको बोल रहा हूँ जो मनीष जी को बोल रहे थे, बाहर से जितने पेशेंट ये आप छोड़ बिहार मैंने जो उत्तर UP, बंगाल, झारखंड और भी मैंने भारत का जो जितने सारे प्रदेश हैं उधर से बिहार आएंगे। क्योंकि जो PMR एक्चुअली बहुत सारे हॉस्पिटल में डेवलप नहीं है, हम इसको इतना डेवलप करेंगे, बाहर से बहुत पेशेंट इधर आएंगे। और ये होगा हमारा एक्चुअली जो मैंने बिहार का एंटायर कंट्री के लिए कुछ मैंने ये जो बोलते हैं क्या गिफ्ट
पूरे देश के लिए मॉडल प्रस्तुत
मॉडल होगा।
थैंक यू सर। थैंक यू।